Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I'm sharing my April 2021 bullet journal plan with me. As always, I'm starting out with last month's flip through, and if you haven't seen my March plan with me, it will be linked in the cards and down below if you're interested. I did this scrapbook style boho dreamcatcher theme and it was super fun and out of my comfort zone. I paired lots of shades of green with some cricket cutouts and I think it all meshed together really well. I'm flipping back to my April planning page, which I actually filmed myself setting up, and that video will be up next week, so keep an eye out for that if you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how to plan out bullet journal monthly themes and spreads. This month's theme is Winnie the Pooh, which is a theme I've been wanting to do for a very long time now, and I took inspiration from the original books by A.A. Milne and the illustrations by E.H. Shepard. I started out with the cover page as always, and I went with this typewriter style font for my headers, and this illustration in particular came from both this illustration by E.H. Shepard and a theme that Plant-Based Bride did in her husband's bullet journal last year. I love this style of artwork because it's more loose and sketchy, I guess, and I am honestly not great at drawing animals or people, but I think I did pretty okay in this, so I'm pretty proud of myself. This particular image is of Christopher Robin, Pooh, Eeyore, and Piglet, and I'm pretty sure they're helping Tigger, who is falling out of the tree. By the way, all the black fine liners that you see are Sakura Pigma microns, and I used 08 for the title, and to sketch everything out I'm using 02, but I also use a variety of the other ones, and I will have that whole pack linked down below if you're interested. So at this point I was going back and forth whether I wanted this to be an entirely black and white theme because I really liked the look of the drawing with just the fine liner, but I decided to go in with some pastel and kind of muted tone tombows, I guess you could say, to make this theme more lively and feel more like a children's storybook. And honestly, I had so much fun coloring these pictures, and I think it really just took it to the next level, so I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And please comment down below your favorite Winnie the Pooh characters as a kid, either if you watched the movies or if you read the books, or even if you still watch the movies or read the books now as an adult. I think mine is Piglet or Eeyore. I really can't choose between the two because I just think they're both so cute and I love their characters. I definitely watched the new or new-ish Christopher Robin movie recently, the live-action one where he's all grown up and he sees all the characters from his childhood after a long time, and it was so super cute, so I would highly recommend going to watch that. I'm sure it's on Disney Plus or Netflix or something if you're interested in watching it. So I printed out this book page in order to rip it up and paste it in the corners like I usually do with either craft paper or cardstock or really anything. And I was just going to get an old book and use it that way, but I really wanted it to be the original Winnie the Pooh page, so I just printed this out on regular printer paper. I made it a little bit more yellow. I think it was a little bit more brown, but I think the yellow went really well with this, and I just attached it to the corner. And now we are moving on to my monthly calendar spread. I am currently still going strong with the one-page monthly spreads because, like I say in every plan with me, I only really use this to transfer over future log things like holidays, birthdays, events, appointments, anything like that, so I don't need a whole 2-page spread for it. And this is just a simple grid style that's 3 dot grid spaces wide and 4 tall. I'm going in with the typewriter style font to write SMTWTFS, which means Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for those of you wondering. And I just have this really cute little Pooh doodle who's floating away on this little balloon, and the bees are all around him because he's going to get their honey from the tree. Below my calendar, I always have my social media growth tracker, which is just for Instagram and YouTube. That's why I have these little icons, and I track the growth from the first, middle, and last day of each month. I'm just adding in some extra details now, like the numbers and the circles on my calendar, and then I also tore off another piece of the book page to add it into the corner, which tied in the cover page and made everything look a lot more cohesive. For my habit tracker this month, I have space to track 9 different habits. And I also don't put in the tracker titles in this video just in case I want to brainstorm new habits later to replace old ones from past months. I usually keep them generally the same, but I like to give myself the option just in case. But I mainly went with this particular layout because I wanted to have space at the bottom of the page to draw Eeyore floating down the river. Now I'm moving on to my anxiety tracker, and for those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, I'm sure you're a little confused because this is usually what my mood tracker looks like, and I'm not tracking my mood this month because I feel like I don't reference it a lot and my mood doesn't really stay consistent in one day, but I still wanted a tracker in this style that could go along with my theme, and it's still fun to color in with different colors based on the key. So I have 30 jars of honey, and I got this idea from PH Doodling's mood tracker from March, which I thought would fit perfectly with Winnie the Pooh's love for honey. And just like PH Doodling's spread, I tried to keep each jar of honey a little bit different so it adds more interest to the page. And then I went in with my Tombow dual brush pen in 977 to add in some shelves right under the honey with my favorite wood effect that I've been using a lot this year. So in January, I did it with the board games. In February, the bottom of the gumball machine was a wood effect. But last month, I've been super missing it because I only really used craft paper, so I brought it back this month. I have 4 parts for my key at the bottom, which is none, a little, a lot, and panic, which is my anxiety scale. And if you want to learn more about anxiety trackers in general, be sure to check out my top 5 anxiety trackers video, which will be in the cards and down below if you're interested. We are moving on to my expenses log, and this is another different setup that I normally do. I've been doing the exact same expenses log since 2019 and I really needed a change. So I decided to split it into income and outgoing expenses this month. The income section has space to write the date, amount, and description, and the outgoing expenses has space to write the amount, description, and if I used cash or a debit or credit card. I also had room for a box that I eventually marked to buy, so I can just stick anything that I eventually need to buy this month in that box to remind myself. And then I also have spaces at the bottom of the income and outgoing expenses to write the total of income and outgoing expenses of the month. The doodles of Piglet and Pooh you see here at the bottom of my expenses and gratitude logs is based on this picture, and I'm pretty sure it's of Piglet and Pooh looking at their footprints in the snow and wondering where they came from. So similar to my expenses, I've pretty much been doing the same gratitude log ever since 2019, and I really needed a change because I also started doing 2 lines a day this year, and my gratitude in 2 lines a day just kind of started morphing into one, and I would find that I'd write the exact same thing. So for this gratitude log, I have space to write one word in any font that I want. I'm going to try to do a different font every single day, and I got that idea from Tracy Tyler Revel. I will have her channel linked down below if you're interested, but I'm super excited to see how that's going to turn out. So my 2 lines a day is set up the exact same way as I've been doing since January. It's just 2 lines straight across the page for every single day for journaling or memory keeping or really anything, just to write something that had to do with every single day this month. And the picture I chose from the Winnie the Pooh story is Pooh and Piglet walking through this very windy day, or as they would like to call it, a blustery day. So now I'm taking my 3 lightest tombows from my color palette, which is N95 is the light gray, 942 is the tan, and 020 is the really light yellow, and I alternated the lines down the page to add some extra color to an otherwise pretty blank spread. I wanted to add a little bit more to this spread, so I took that book paper again and put them in the corners, and I really think it tied it all together, and this is definitely one of my favorite pages that I've made throughout the entire month. I just love the way all the colors look, and it's still super simple, but I think that's what I really love about it. So you may have just seen me skip a lot of pages in between, and that's where my weeklies are going to go, but I don't film my weeklies on camera because I usually fill them out with my mom and my sister, who also bullet journal, and I mentioned this in every single video, but that's just why I don't put weeklies on camera, because I'd rather do it with my family during our little bullet journaling sessions. Right now I am just filling out my April monthly review, which has a place for memories. I can write my best memory and highlights of the month, and also put a Polaroid, which I print out on my little Polaroid printer. I have an area for future, which I get to write what I'm excited for and nervous about for the upcoming month, and the last one is my favorites, which I get to write my favorite book, song, TV show, movie, YouTube channel, really anything that I've been loving throughout the month I can just record in here. And this is always my favorite page to fill out in my bullet journal because it really wraps up the month for me and gets me really excited about the next one, and it's overall just a great memory keeping spread. The picture I chose for this spread is one of my favorites, and it's when Christopher Robin is nailing back on Eeyore's tail because he lost it, and this was always just one of the funniest things, I think, in the Winnie the Pooh movies, so I really wanted to include it in one of my favorite spreads, so I thought this was perfect. If I were to change something about the spread, I think I would have gone with the yellow instead of the orange in the favorites boxes, because I think the orange is just a little bit too bright for this spread, but I didn't want to cut out little boxes from the back of my bullet journal and stick them over and having to color it again. It just seemed like a waste of time, so I just kept it in. We are now entering the final flip through portion of today's video, and I want to encourage you all to comment down below your favorite spread from this plan with me, and also what is your April bullet journal theme this month. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal Instagram at Creative Minds Coffee Grinds for more bullet journal content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!